Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Joey only here, up in Wells, BC, 3,153 feet above sea level in my chair of infinite knowledge, friends. Talking about thunderstorm threat on Saturday. Atmospheric river's been hammering on the coast and continuing still, delivering some of that nastiness inland, and that's going to make some instability. Could even see some thunderstorms firing overnight in the Caribou, and the risk of funnel clouds off the BC coast. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's go.
There it is. My God. Anything could happen. Get on! Wow.
I'll watch the video later. But really, just look at that beautiful motion of that mid-latitude cyclone there, slowly warbling its way up the coast. You can see that weak atmospheric river pounding into the Olympic Mountains, pounding into Vancouver Island, some of that spilling into the shore. You can see right where the L should be, kind of right inside the dot of the comma. Got the cool air coming down in behind, sliding in behind. You got the warm, moist air in front there. That's what makes that large frontal system, that large boundary, and that's what you have there, a large, beautiful mid-latitude cyclone, like something you would see in the fall more than you would see at this time of year. It's not unheard of, no, but it's a little bit anomalous. It's something to go, hey, wow, look at that. We're really into that stormy pattern that's coming off the Gulf of Alaska. It really doesn't want to stop. Oh, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, because I am back again with all your best forecasting. That's right. Okay, become a channel member if you would want to support me there, or join the Patreon. That would really, really matter to me right now. Yes, okay. Okay, first of all, the worst news in Western Canada definitely goes to Area C in the Prairies. They have their own funnel cloud risk. In fact, they have a much greater risk even than that. They have the risk of tornado, and that does include the Edmonton area. So make sure you have all your friends in Edmonton know that there is that tornado moderate risk for severe thunderstorms, and that could produce tornadoes, some of these as well. 2 to 4 centimeter hail, that's big hail. Even larger in Area B, southern Saskatchewan, maybe even seeing toonies and golf ball size hail down there. 3 to 5 centimeter hail is pretty big stuff. So first thing we're going to look at is convective available potential energy. You can see a bunch of it already sliding up towards Alberta overnight tonight. You can see that high pressure being a block there in the prairies. You can see our low slamming up the coast, making some interesting wind along the coastal areas. You see southern Saskatchewan getting that high Cape value there in the morning time, starting to pop up in southern BC in the eastern side there before noon. We're going to see values somewhere in the maybe 1,500 to 2,000 area, in terms of convective available potential energy. Certainly southern Saskatchewan seeing it explode. We're definitely going to be looking at this problem for the Edmonton area, what they could be expecting later in the afternoon as this line develops. So we have our own line developing in the southern Caribou. It's going to be moving either north or northeast. I'm not exactly clear on that yet. Different models kind of make me feel different things about that, the way it's going to bend. But as you can see, that line as it's arcing over as the low tries to establish itself on the prairie side. You can see the frontal side here. There's going to be a lot of energy being drawn up towards this low to help it develop. So it's spawning off of our coastal low, but it really becomes its own thing, its own baby, its own problem child as it taps into that warmer air down in the United States and finds itself available to kind of dig itself in and get going. And that's why even through Sunday, we're going to see that real high risk of storms again as that quickly does what it does out there. You can see trying to establish itself again on Sunday, a low somewhere trying to establish itself, fighting to all weekend. Looks like maybe it'll finally dig in by Sunday somewhere. But look at this whole frontal section now. Repeat thunderstorms for them, repeat thunderstorms. And it really, remains to be seen, that Edmonton area as we come into Saturday afternoon, we're looking at maybe having a thunderstorm through there that could produce a tornado. Significant weather, British Columbia on Saturday. We'll look at this map first before we talk about anything else going on. We do have that risk in Area A of storms that might approach the severe threshold. But I think down in Area B, we are looking at more realistically the possibility of actual severe thunderstorms there. 2 centimeter hail, I say for me, that's my threshold of what I consider to be severe thunderstorm producing. I think that's about right. For me, at least, when I see that, I expect the chance that some of these could really bubble up and become strong friggin' thunderstorms, because it takes that kind of updraft to make hail that size. So that's definitely in an area that stretches from the Caribou Mountains up the the North Thompson side in the Caribou Mountains there across, right, through maybe 100 Mile House at the very southern tip of that, Williams Lake, right square dead in the middle of Chilcotin as well, up to maybe even including Quesnel, quite possibly. These guys should be coming out of the south there when they are coming, and that will depends on how late they get started and how far they go and whatnot as to how strong they'll get. But that's the big talk there is the funnel cloud risk off the BC coast. Of course, anytime there's funnel clouds, there is always that outside risk that one of them could touch down. There's a gust tornado or something like that, or a water spout properly. So that's something we'll be watching for in the morning. The fact that some of these hatchings cross onto land tells me that someone here knows something that they're not quite saying. What they're saying is what they know is probably what I just said, is that there is that risk that these water spouts could happen and that we could see a brief, maybe weak tornado, but brief as well, brief and weak. So I'm not trying to alarm you, but hey, this is meteorologically interesting. Whenever we see that moniker on our screen, we like to look at it and go, wow, that's cool. And across Canada, there really isn't much going on right now. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff going on over, where are we here? New air quality warning over in Newfoundland there, right? But if we go into BC, look, we still do have some air quality statements for Nanoose Bay, Comox Valley. Smoke may be visible in areas adjacent to the region. So that may still go on, but I think there's been a lot of rain down there, so I'm hoping that's really helped calm the story down. I would think 50 millimeters, excess of 80 over high terrain is still the rainfall warning down there in the lower mainland today and tonight. Tonight still poor visibility expected there for Metro Van, North Shore, West Van, North Van, Metro Van, Northeast, Coquitlam, Metro Maple Ridge there, Metro Van, City of Van, Burnaby, New West, Fraser Valley, Abbotsford, Squamish, Bowen. Unseasonably moisture-laden funnel system will cross BC south coast today and did bring in heavy rain. The warm front arrived in the morning, and it came with strong southerly winds. It's still continuing tonight. But as it is, we got some pretty November-like rain totals there. Metro Van, 76 mils, 73. Burnaby, Port Moody looking at 70. West Van, 69 mils taken there. Burnaby, 60 mils taken. That's some good fall-time type rain. Port Mellon got 104 millimeters. That's nuts, man. Elphinstone Mountain, 75.6 there. Previous records for precipitation for August 15th in Abbotsford were 18 millimeters. Squamish 14, West Vancouver 38. So, I mean, we blew through some of these expected all-time records. Meanwhile, rainfall in Manitoba as well. Lynn Lake, look at that. Puckatawagan, that's two places that have had, three places right there. I think four, even Sheridan, have all had wildfire stories this year, and they've taken all some pretty solid millimeters of precip there. Lynn Lake at the winner, 84.7. Congratulations, Lynn Lake. Hot still on the East Coast. They're still breaking records, 24.7. Can you believe that's a record? But that's the way Newfoundland is. Breaking records there in Nova Scotia, 33.7 in Ingonish on the 14th there. Wowzers. And Saskatchewan there taking some rain in Sask, 61.9 in Southend. And La Ronge even got 47 mils. That's good. Good rain on some of them wildfires up there. Okay. I'm getting to it. Look, a hurricane. Wow, that could reach Category 4 status. I'm getting to it. I swear I'm getting to it. So here's our storm on the coast that's been making a weak atmospheric river as it is. Put out some pretty good rainfall totals. Looking nice, and that is putting that instability into central BC, extra rainfall. That low sliding up the coast is bringing instability up to the north as well as you come into Sunday. Still taking rain in southern BC, taking rain in the Rockies and up through northern BC. Looking good for some rainfall. So that's where we're at over the next bunch of days. Rain in BC, not crazy amounts for everybody, but that overcast, that wetter, cooler, fall-like weather is going on right now. And we'll look at HRDPS Canadian model overnight. What are we seeing? Definitely some rainfall down there. If you look at those mountains by GM there, south of Hope and whatnot, up the coast, Vancouver Island taking some solid rain all over, up and down Vancouver Island, up the north coast, the mid coast. Haida having that low sitting right on top of it in the morning, that making it pretty windy on the bottom side there out in the open ocean. Should be pretty windy for you. Can see thunderstorm potential. Look at this, the heavy rain on the coast mountains though, man. The whole coast mountains taking drenchings. I mean, some of these reds, what are they, 22 2 millimeters in 3 hours. That's what we're talking about, that kind of heavy rain. You can see where our thunderstorms are starting to pop up in maybe even southern BC having a risk, but it's the Caribou where they're going to dig in at some point, starting in the mountains there, some of them. Here we go. There they are, popping up. I expect to see these actually moving in a bit of a northerly bent. So it'll be interesting. It remains to be seen what the motion will be on these. You could make an argument for me with that shortwave bend in here that they might be moving more northeasterly, but I think more coming straight from the south is my expectation for what I think I'm looking for tomorrow. But again, yeah, this is tricky stuff. Tricky stuff. That's got more of a northeasterly bent in the Canadian model. So you compare that to what we're seeing on ECMWF model, it'll give us a slightly different impression as we go on. So you look into the night here, we got storms kind of firing off 4 in the morning, still up in the Prince George area north of. Look at that now, and likely Horsefly maybe seeing a little bit of lightning to start the day, a little bit of lightning there on the Coast Mountains there in the gap. What do you call that gap there? The Georgia Strait or whatever, whatever it's called there. Here's our thunderstorms popping. Now you see on ECMWF that it has a real north kind of run to them, how they expect them to go. So I'm looking at 4 o'clock area being strong storm in Quesnel, fast moving, popping on north. That's what I'm hoping to see. Meanwhile, out in the prairies, Edmonton, yeah, Saskatchewan, yeah, some of you guys are going to be seeing some storms over the weekend. I bet you're looking forward to more of it. How many more storms can you guys take? It's been a lot. So Saturday afternoon, be watching for you coming up from the south. Should be fun time, lightning time this weekend, right? So as this low now develops into the prairies, as it's developed by trying to force its way through BC somewhat unsuccessfully, but able to create its own offspring in a sense there out in the prairie, that will be its own weather story on Sunday for you. Yes, thunderstorms. Do we see thunderstorms in BC on Sunday? Yes, sure looks like it. That shortwave bend is right there. A little bit of a trough in through the Caribou should be making for, looks like non-severe thunderstorms. Certainly these guys over in Saskatchewan, they look a lot more serious there, southern Saskatchewan, late Sunday. So that's kind of what your weekend looks like, friends. I hope that's answered a few questions as for where things are going to be on Saturday. Hit like, share, subscribe. Like I said before, keep supporting the guy. Thanks. We'll see you around, eh?